Welcome to the magical world of Norway. Why does everyone want to live in this country? The country of the north, cold yet equally attractive. With its natural beauty, architecture, living standards and peculiar laws, it is quite extraordinary. The more you get to know Norway, the more you can't help but think they live on another planet in every way. So what's the difference from the rest of the world? Let's watch together and see. In Norway, every prisoner in the prisons has unlimited internet access. But that's not all. Each of them has a plasma TV, a private shower, and the right to stay in single luxurious rooms if they wish. Yet the crime rate is very low. In fact, since World War II, the number of police officers killed is only 10. Norway is one of the top 3 countries with the highest living standards, and they work an average of only 6 hours a day. People should spend time with their families and friends, travel, and have time for their personal development. Work should be secondary, because the state believes that happy individuals, people with plenty of free time, will be more productive during short working hours. The population is only 6 million, and the most populous city, Oslo, has 650,000 people. Despite this, the state prefers small and colourful structures integrated with nature, suitable for Norwegian culture, instead of building high-rise buildings. Because they believe that preserving nature is the most important thing for a happy life. For this reason, there is a special interest in animals. For example, it is even forbidden to neuter your dog if it will not improve its quality of life. There are serious prison sentences for animal rights violations. State authorities frequently check whether pets are subjected to mistreatment. There are 450,000 lakes in the country, and nature is people's biggest entertainment. Most of the population owns old-style houses by the lakes and in the villages, and when they want to disconnect from the world, they can come to these places and live a truly primitive life, far from everyone. Wild animals are so accustomed to humans that you can even encounter wild deer in the town centres. Even if you are not famous, the state sees every writer and artist as a potential talent and supports them. For example, if someone wants to write a book, the state provides them with a monthly salary under the name of grants until the book is finished. After the book is published, the support does not stop. Every library is assigned to buy a sufficient number of newly published books and make them available to the public. This means security for people who want to create something. Of course, the climate is very cold in winter, and life is shaped accordingly. During these seasons, camping, forest hiking, mountaineering and skiing are usually prominent. Everyone has a ski center within 20 minutes of their home, and the forests are adjacent to the cities. The presence of thousands of mountains and fjords creates a very suitable environment for extreme sports. In summer, a significant part of the country has warm weather, making the seas suitable for swimming. There are many beaches and lakes. You can even see people swimming in the lakes among the snow in winter. In these lakes with hot springs, people love swimming in winter. Young people prefer to camp here both in summer and winter. Watching the northern lights, a visual feast of nature, while doing these activities must be one of the biggest advantages for Norwegians. The northern lights are natural illuminations in the sky, resulting from the interaction between the Earth's magnetic field and charged particles from the sun. You can watch this spectacle from most parts of Norway. Although Norway is originally a monarchy, the royal family is only symbolic, and the parliament has all the decision-making power. This is not a monarchy where kings have unlimited rights like in Middle Eastern countries. The king has no direct influence on state administration. It carries more symbolic and historical value, and everyone is equal within the framework of the laws. Although 70% of the population is Protestant, people generally identify themselves as atheists. There is also a significant Muslim immigrant population. Immigrants, mostly from Arab countries, have more rights than in other parts of the world. There are 136 Muslim associations, and 70% of immigrants are members of these associations. Some immigrant families did not want their children to attend the same school as Christians, so the state even opened a school in Oslo exclusively for Muslims. At the same time, Norway rejected joining the European Union because living standards in Norway are higher than in Europe. This decision was made by the public through a referendum. The state fundamentally adopts the concept of a country intertwined with nature, and generally, intercity roads are built as bridges or tunnels to preserve the environment, and due to the mountainous terrain. The world's longest tunnel, 21 kilometers long, is also in Norway. This understanding has also led to the creation of fairy tale-like architecture. With their houses and other structures, almost every street is like a photograph. For example, this is the Organistiv Church. It is 800 years old and very well preserved despite being wooden. This is Rifosen Bridge, hosting one of the world's most famous waterfalls. Again, to preserve natural beauty, only a few small shelters have been built around it instead of large hotels and profitable expensive structures. The country is famous for fishing, and the fishing cabins are equally empty. The houses are colourful and wooden, following old traditions. Especially if you go to the villages, you will see even more extraordinary ones. Village houses built with natural insulation to be covered with soil on the roof are still in use. And don't be surprised if you see trees growing out of many of them. Many of you know the famous novel and movie called Chalet and Chocolate Factory. The houses and settings in the film were designed inspired by Norway, and the brand in the film was inspired by Norway's famous chocolate brand, Freya. So what is not in Norway? Let's take a look at those too. There is no traffic noise or drivers constantly honking their horns. There is no worry about the end of the month. So much so that many glasses, shoes, clothes, and many valuable items are left on the streets in Norway, and their owners don't care about them. Since no one says, "Let me take it home," these items collected from the streets by non-governmental organizations are sent to poor countries in Africa and Asia for aid purposes. There is no fear of being scammed. Fraud cases are so rare in Norway that they can be counted on the fingers of one hand, and those who do are ostracized by society. There is no worry about school expenses, as long as a person wants to study. University education is free even for outsiders. The state provides substantial support to those who are financially disadvantaged. There are no children subjected to violence. If teachers notice a wound on a child, the state immediately starts an investigation, and as soon as it is determined that the child is being subjected to violence, they are taken from the family without hesitation. These checks are regularly conducted. There is no theft concern. One of the lowest crime rates in Norway is theft, and these are considered the most shameful crimes. At the same time, Norway is the only country with a knighted penguin. The penguin named Niels Bolliv was awarded a medal by the Norwegian Army in 2005 and promoted to colonel. He was appointed as the honorary commander of the Norwegian Royal Guard. On the day he was promoted to honorary colonel, Penguin Bolliv inspected the honor guard and visited his statue, made to his actual size of 90 centimeters. A Norwegian officer even said, "We are sure we have chosen the most suitable penguin to command the country's most elite unit. He is currently a brigadier general. He is actually the third-generation penguin named Niels Oilup." In the 1970s, Lieutenant Niels loved a penguin at the zoo and declared it the mascot of their unit. That penguin, which received special attention from the unit every time they came to Edinburgh for a show, later became an honorary member of the Norwegian Royal Guards in 1980. The first penguin, which was the unit's mascot and made an honorary member in the ceremony, died in 1987. However, the Norwegian Army, which made the second and third penguins in the lineage honorary members of the Royal Guards, has kept the same tradition alive to this day. The penguins seem happy with this tradition, as they inspect the soldiers with a full command attitude. Norway demonstrates its uniqueness in this aspect as well. A country where people can live securely without thinking about tomorrow. grounded in equal rights, the supremacy of law and nature, with no political debates and no racial or religious divisions. I hope one day all humanity can reach the same understanding and freedom. You can subscribe to my channel for more content. Enjoy watching.